So good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to another scene for This Life, set in beautiful Duluth, Minnesota, where it is frigid right now. So on this Up to the Hearths fire, there is this well-known, much beloved place known to one and all as the public housing, where there is a nice little stream going by. There's a little walkway. There's some pretty ace landscaping going on. And somehow it is not all dust and snow at the moment. But it's still fucking cold. Not cold enough for snow, just cold. And as such, with all these lovely, expansive kind of, I mean, you wouldn't call it a porch. There's no overhang. There's no coverage there. Should we call it a veranda? Let's call it the veranda. So, out on the veranda, or at least approaching it at the moment, is, go figure, because I can only play one character in this game, Charlotte, who is heading back. She has, for what it's worth, been seen ducking into the Hut of the Fallen, looking to see if it was time yet to pay respects. But she's done that. She's spent a lot of time traveling between both the cabin that belongs to the Den Mother and the one that belongs to one of the Get Fenris kinfolk, Freya, and is often, well, lived in these days by Charlotte herself and by, well, both her fiance and the cabin owner's twin, Felix. So after all that's gone on just lately, she has checked in to see what's going on. She has spent some amount of time, probably, in that cabin, checking on her intended. After all, it was something of a rough little mission. But for now is walking. Walking with a big fuck off tumbler intended to carry such hot beverages as coffee, hot cocoa, things of that nature. And for the moment, in kind of that peaceful point of the night where, there's some foot traffic going on inside the public housing. There's people doing a little bit of this and that, but all in all, it's pretty chill, both literally and figuratively. It's clear out sky-wise, so she can actually get a decent look at the beautiful expanse of the heavens. And she likes kind of having a finger on the pulse, albeit in this point a really passive one, so she is going to head that way and very probably just find herself a fucking seat, kick her feet up, pop open the cap of her tumbler, and be idly sipping at whatever absurdly hot beverage, there's steam to prove it, she has on hand, while she pulls out, of all things, not her phone, but an iPad, and plops it on her lap, and just kind of, goes tip-tapping at it, naturally hitching into the public housing Wi-Fi.
Man, public housing Wi-Fi is a lawless fucking wasteland.
Oh, it is.
I would not want to be on that Wi-Fi, personally.
He kind of glances as I realize that you're talking in character.
I am not.
Okay.
However, Rami is not on the public housing Wi-Fi. He is coming around the corner with what little overhead this place can offer from the rain with an acoustic guitar. The least desired thing in a party. And seems to be just fucking going at the same 3 chords every dude who's recently learned guitar knows. But poorly. You know what I'm fucking talking about. No, everyone watching this knows what I'm talking about.
There's just this kind of stray glance, like, oh, a person. And then there's guitar strumming and there's a double take of, like, what?
And unfortunately, these 3 chords go really well with a specific song. 3, 6, 9, damn, you're fine. Suck it, suck it, suck it, suck it to me one more time. From the window to the wall. You can stop him at any time.
He gets to the window and the iPad just gets tipped up and she hits a button like no one will believe me if there's not evidence.
He keeps
and
going.
just looks at him like, are you like, does that and goes back to kind of paying attention like I can't.
He keeps going. It's not like
points.
He's got like performance 1, but he's also got dexterity 4. So there's a lot of inexperience just being made up for by preternatural talent here. I'll put it that way.
He's got the finger dexterity. It's just
Hadn't quite gotten the art of the stage down yet.
Nope. She looks kind of shocked. Just like, I can't. It's flat on her face. It's the I can't believe this is happening right now.
Yeah, well, I am not going to give you an a cappella fucking presentation from the window to the wall.
Damn it. She still at least records that very classic series of like 2 lines.
I mean, it's straight. The whole song happens. I'll put it that way. Narratively, the whole song happens. He is too absorbed in his own shit right now. She will not
sit through the whole thing, but he gets through those classic couple lines, and she hits the stop button and just shakes her head and looks at the screen with that final little moment in the cap, that final image, and looks at him. Just goes, am I being punked right now?
Oh, hello there, Ryan. I didn't see you there.
You were, very focused. Nod.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just kind of came across this. Decided it was a productive enough thing to do in my off time.
You do seem to have a knack for finding random objects in your hands.
Yeah, I really do. Must be some sort of blessing. I don't know.
Well, you are
it's a blessing and a curse because sometimes those objects belong to other people.
She says, like, she like makes a little noise like mid sip, like, well, you are a ragabash. Well, they do belong to other people. Sometimes it's like, can't imagine. Little sip.
Huh. Kind of living in terror of the day I break a string and I have to awkwardly ask kinfolk to buy another one.
You run a little hot to go into town yourself? Kind of like quirks a brow?
Well, normally. If I said it enough times for you, I bet I have. I would do it myself, but given the current situation, I probably wouldn't even send the kinfolk. I'd just try to fashion a string myself.
I hear strings were originally made with catgut or something. Kind of smirking.
I'm not going to murder a perfectly innocent cat just to strum a guitar.
I don't know, maybe rabbit guts work.
Maybe.
Or you could try something like, I don't know, Amazon.
I'm not sure they deliver to parts unknown.
Don't deliver to places that at least conventionally don't exist. But they could easily deliver to nearby places that are more readily accessible than going all the way into town.
I'll just have to single day shipping that bridge when I come to it.
Be a real weirdo and set the address for something like, I don't know, the end of the closest bridge. That won't look shady at all.
Oh no, I am sure no one will question that.
No, of course not.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you'll find a way.
Well, life does do that, right?
If nothing else, I'm pretty sure. She kind of ticks on her fingers. Abel, Felix, Leaf, probably all have spare strings.
I'll keep that in mind.
He
just has the guitar now. He's just standing there talking to you.
Trying to remember. I think Ragnar plays something.
Like I said, I'll worry about it. I'll worry about it when I get there.
She shrugs. I mean, it's obvious that she's sitting there just kind of consulting her own memory for the sake of, like, I should remember this.
It's kind of a shame, though. This is a lovely guitar.
And you have no idea where it came from.
Absolutely not. It was just there one day.
What, like in your room there, or just kind of left in the public housing storage?
It was in my room. Apparently, I don't know. I don't know where it came from.
Oh. And you're not especially concerned about random items appearing in your room?
I mean, I am. I did my best to get a peek inside. For all I know, something nefarious is inside of the guitar, though that would throw off the sound a little bit.
Probably.
The object itself might be cursed or
Oh,
otherwise meddled with in a fashion that would compromise my well-being or my ability to do my job. But for now, this guitar and I are partners.
Or maybe it's just weird that someone got into your room without you noticing.
Not really. People wander into each other's rooms all the time around here.
Take your word for it.
Thankfully, I have
locked doors.
Thankfully, this this guitar here is the most valuable thing I own.
What, really? Finally kind of glances over.
I mean, I have a smartphone. I don't live in the prior century, but it's a little just holds up this beat to shit smartphone.
Kind of a little wince. Like, you can't, I mean, the Glasswalker can't help it. Just like, oh, that poor thing.
Nobody wants this.
I mean, I suppose someone with a flip phone might. Besides, if it's that old. Kind of, again, the kind of, probably doesn't have tracking or recovery apps on it or features built into it. So, older ones are technically an easier steal and reuse.
Well,
As opposed to a steal and sell on Craigslist.
If they want this fire-breathing hunk of junk, who am I to stop them?
Yeah. Your guitar actually might be worth more. She, like, stays hunkered back in the chair, still has her feet kicked up.
So is there anything I can do for you, Raya?
I don't imagine you have things like a typed up report, so maybe letting me know what brought about the return of two kinfolk and one body.
Well, he just sits down, still under what little cover the housing provides.
I mean, I've already said it's an open, clear sky, so.
Doesn't matter. He's become very suspicious of this land of sudden snows and rains.
Aww. Precipitation. Scary.
I'm not entirely certain if it's within my authority, as it were, to talk about that.
There's an idle smirk over. Oh, really?
Sadly.
It doesn't sound very much like the bank robbery, I believe, was spoken of.
I didn't even know it was robbery.
Well, that's what the word was. And yet here we are, two kinfolk richer.
They told you it was a bank robbery.
No, they were talking about a bank robbery. I overheard.
I mean, for all you know, is it possible they knocked over a bank to warm themselves up for the act?
It's kind of a skeptical glance. Yes, the perfect plan. Get the local heat on you so that there are absolutely police swarming the area and then go wherever You went and recover to kinfolk.
Well, suppose it is silly when you say it out loud.
Maybe just a touch. Huh. Well, I imagine the bulk of the information I will get from the Wormfoe himself, but was there anything in particular of interest, public interest, that you think an Adrian might want to know?
Well,
Because the plan's over now. There's no spoiling it after the fact.
there are plenty of things to spoil after the fact, right?
Are there?
Or maybe they're not. Maybe I'm just playing with you.
Maybe you are. I'm gonna peony the shit out of him.
Okay.
See if he's just fucking around or if he's covering his ass.
Do.
Yeah, that's only, what, 3 successes? Oh, actually, it's 4, because hidden motives.
You defeat me by 1.
Just barely, Jesus.
I have a big pool for this.
Go figure, a Ragabash good at lying? Who'da thunk?
My puberty's carrying me. You're striking nerves, but it seems like he's also fucking with you.
She finally starts ticking off of her fingers. Things like pertinent knowledge gained about our enemies, seeing as you obviously encountered some of them coming back with kinfolk. Perhaps the location of the body.
Well, Ryan, let's engage in a thought experiment.
Shall we?
From what I've picked up over the last few days, not many people knew what was going to happen. You didn't know quite what was going to happen until it happened. Am I correct?
Oh no, but I know who was overseeing the project.
Very useful for you to know. However, it would stand to reason that if they didn't want everyone knowing about the project, then anything gleaned from the project would also be something they wouldn't want everyone to know. And, well, here we sit.
And yet I know why they would keep the true intentions on the down low until such a time as it had already been done.
Shrugs.
And that is not given to great effect after the fact.
I mean, you are an Adrian. You are within your rights to steamroll me right this instant if you feel I am truly disrespecting things you need.
Nah, have to get up.
You would.
And I'd risk the guitar.
It would most certainly be a casualty to your rage.
Yes, to my righteous fury, sure. She continues, like, kind of poking on the iPad. Were you told to keep this to yourself? Particularly the results after the fact?
No.
Taking initiative. I'd like it if it wasn't obnoxious right now.
Well, then I wouldn't be doing my job right.
Thought you had a strong lead going with the choice of song.
Well, sometimes you just have to reach out to the great, almost turning point moments in your youth and bring them forward into a bright new future. from the window to the wall, as it were.
Well then, let's change the line of questioning. How are you doing?
As you can tell, I am alive and prosperous with my brand new guitar.
It's not an answer.
And yet it is how I'm doing in the moment.
She's kind of looking over at him like, you are such an ass. It's written on her face.
Yeah, he looks pretty smug about this.
I want to be irritated with you. You're obnoxiously endearing.
Well, many people are irritated with me, Raya.
Are they?
Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing my job.
She kind of waffles the hand, you know? In the wake of the mission, how are you doing?
I'm alive and well, Raya.
Very well. Still gonna highball. And at this point, it's looking to see if he's essentially looking for signs that he's getting more defensive. That's it. It's just Peony to try and read him a bit. That's actually, holy shit, a really good roll.
So, I want to count the number of successes for my own edification. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's more than
It's.
he
I
has
don't think the
dice.
tens will ping.
Okay, in which case,
It's
1,
6.
2, 3, 4. There's a chance.
I mean, you can at least skim off some of her successes and give her less. So, Jesus, nicely
Didn't fucking
done.
do that badly.
So essentially, 2 success to just kind of like as she's talking, she's glancing up, looking at his expression, his posture, looking for signs of tension, looking for signs of discomfort.
He looks worn out. Whatever happened, it took a lot out of him. That hasn't exactly been put back in as of yet.
This is a situation she is well familiar with. Yes. I suppose just in the recoup phase, post mission.
That's what you'd like to call it.
I do. Works a kind of teasing smile. I do indeed. Depending on the intensity, it can take some people a week to get themselves put fully back together. You seem to be doing pretty well, all things considered.
He starts trying to like tune the strings.
Poing!
Yeah,
tweak,
basically.
tweak. Plunk! Tweak, tweak, tweak. Plunk, plunk! Tweak.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry about your friend.
Shadows up.
Yes, I believe that's what his name was.
She nods. And yeah, just kind of. At this point, the iPad's still there. The screen's still on. There's a faint glow on her face, you know, but she's still just kind of holding the coffee and not really paying a lot of attention. You know, not that long ago, he was the Subswarm foe. a shame.
Indeed it is.
But she does turn and glance over. Thank you for bringing him back to his pack mates.
I was merely doing what my step duty demanded.
No goodness of your heart involved? No bringing
I'm
someone
afraid
home?
not. For you see, my heart long ago shriveled away in the deserts of Nevada.
I imagine a lot of things shrivel in Nevada. Probably goes back to pooping this
You
tree.
have no idea.
Let me tell you, if I were to consider moving to some other bright, new, thrilling place in the States, Nevada is not even on the list. Or Arizona. No thank you.
Has its good signs.
I'm sure it does. Otherwise,
Aside
nobody would live
from
there at all.
most of the local flora and fauna and Uktena trying to kill you constantly every single day.
It's kind of a brown it and a glance over. Really?
Every single day.
The Uktena?
Yes.
What, are they as aggressive as the Wendigo out there?
I wish.
There's a pause and a blink. You know, now I'm interested. I don't think I've ever actually met an Uktena.
I haven't either. But I have witnessed their handiwork.
Really? What was it like out there? Settles back in the chair a little bit. Listening mode has clearly been engaged.
It is a harsh, unforgiving place. And that is it. That is the reality of life there. There are people in the Shadowlords own the cities. The rest of us try to scrape by against the worm and the pure tribes.
And the pure tribes are that aggressive.
As has been explained to me by my honored Rias, through much song, story, and savage beatings,
Sounds about right.
the pure tribes have a number of bones to pick, especially with my tribe, over some conduct from a few hundred years ago. Their ancestors are gone. They have not forgotten.
Oh, we never do forget, do we? Tea sip.
So you can imagine how giddy the local Uktena must have been when my storied family, along with some of their boon companions, decided to go out and settle the Southwest.
You know, when you put it that way, you make a fine point. All right then. Noted. Not a fan.
Just because I academically understand their plight doesn't mean that I lack any resentment towards them, given the shape that their tactics, methods, and overall skullduggery painted my youth with.
Skullduggery, you say?
Skullduggery most foul.
What kind of tactics?
The kind that keep you awake for 3 nights until you realize the person in the bunk next to you isn't there anymore.
Huh. That kind. Like the eyebrows just kind of, tweak up the tiniest bit. Like, ooh. All right. I suppose, at least in that case, if we ever have to make another trip north, it's not as though you will be unfamiliar with hardship.
Oh, at least the Wendigo show you some dignity. They just act like normal people, kill you and mutilate the body.
There's like a quirk of a brow over.
No, scream at the top of our lungs, meet in the middle of a field. Simple. No
There
less
were
terrifying, believe you
certainly
me, but simple.
there were certainly tensions, but they also weren't beyond the ability to actually talk and agree that in the end we're fighting the same thing. The Talons, on the other hand, there's a little tip of the head. We'll just avoid those. At least as much as they let us. Just kind of an eye roll almost. Not quite a full eye roll, it's that kind of glance off to the side like
I give it to you for free. You can tell the pure tribe shit you touched a fucking nerve.
yeah. On to the finer points of a conversation though. Getting along all right with your crowd? Your family's associated with the Ulrichsons, right?
Yes, indeed, Raya. It's actually quite the honor to be amongst so many heroes from that particular clan.
Have you had much chance to talk to them?
Absolutely. They've been more than accommodating.
Glad.
As am I, Raya. Speaking of which, and he narrates his journey from where he is to where you're sitting through the majesty of guitar strumming. Like as he's walking over, dun, 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 dun,
Not
he's
gonna
sitting next to
lie,
you
she
now.
can't help smirking. You know, with that right there, she like he actually like points the little finger up and down. You know, I might have to try to bribe you. That is, who doesn't like a personal narration? Everyone wants personal background music, right?
Well, at least I didn't take up the tuba.
Yeah, that one hits her a little offside. She wasn't prepared for the tuba. But as you were saying,
Word has it, you, Raya, run a frontline pack.
I do in fact.
At least of some repute. I don't think there's a single person I've met that doesn't have an opinion about it.
I imagine they do. There's a little tease-up like, yep.
So tell me, Raya, who do you follow?
There's like a
Some
glance over because she wants
war
to see the
totem?
reaction.
I mean, I've heard of totems from other broods. Things like honey badger, eagle, wolverine.
Oh, allow me to shatter your disillusions, fellow Harrier.
I'm not familiar.
That is because Harrier is not a war totem.
Like, get it, Fanners goes, wait, what?
Not gonna lie, she'll have a bit of a smile. While our motivations carry us constantly to the front, our goal our initiative is to sow treaties. Obviously not with the enemy, but among our own. That reminder that we are all fighting the same enemy seems more needed than one might suspect at a glance.
I see.
Barrier is the, I believe, house totem of Unbreakable Hearth. If that helps. Kind of glances over again while the get continues to 404.
Um. Huh. All right.
To clarify, well, this means that again, we are very often in the front. That is also why we have such good relations with. And she ticks off on her fingers. Well, it is. We do have an alliance with Wolfsmaw. We have an alliance with Last Hope to the south. We have a good relationship with the Court of Wisconsin. And while I haven't made it applicable sept to sept, I do have a decent relationship with the Wendigo beyond Wolfsmaw.
That must carry a certain amount of difficulty considering your current position.
Oh?
An Adrian Glasswalker on a Geta Fenris sept deeply associated with our tribe, about to marry into the Trimbuson family. And you tell me you have ties to Wendigo.
I do?
And they are perhaps unaware of your other associations?
Not at all.
I see.
The initial pack of Wendigo I met took me hostage while I was performing services for Wolfsmaw, in fact.
Raimi stares.
As you can imagine, it took a bit of a turn to the side.
I suppose so.
It turns out that a reminder that there are bigger threats that we can work together on does a lot of good for political leanings and for sowing alliances and friendships. There was certainly a larger threat than Wolfsmaw at the time. I'm sort of. She kind of waves a hand. Pseudo militant, worm tainted group sending their people out there, attacking the kinfolk of any given tribe without any real discretion, sowing wormtail into the ground and into the land, to the trees. It seemed a little more important.
I would imagine so.
Hmm. It's the damnedest thing, it turns out. Assumptions and judging based wholly upon proclivities of a tribe doesn't work so well in action as it does in thought. Long Shadow's good people. Sooner or later, I'll be back up there for a visit. They have
Hopefully
problems that
with
tie to
some
ours.
consideration towards your company.
It will be interesting, I'm sure. I have heard that As much as the Uktena may not be your biggest fans, I imagine having a packmate whose Fianna will be sips tea.
I wish this man the best of luck.
It'll be fine. It'll be a moment. A very interesting moment, I'm sure, but he will be fine. But yes, Harrier guides our pack into some very interesting places. But the results can't be argued with. Our Sept is that much stronger for the allies we have. And with any luck, the little bit of time will be strengthening our bond with Wolfsmaw. And so we're still it's periodic little reads of the expression, trying to catch little tweaks, little tells.
He's just sitting here, just watching you volunteer information.
Oh, she is. To be fair, most of it's, I mean, for people who've been here, consider it common knowledge. She was walking around in the fucking Wendigo poncho for ages after she came back.
No, his big mood is wait, so she's just gonna keep talking, and I don't have to ask questions.
Nope, she finally seems to have run out of tap. You're gonna have to prompt again.
Well, it certainly seems like you have a lot of personal interest staked in diplomacy.
Do in fact.
There's some particular reason behind that?
Well, let's look at it this way. We have currently one sept or representatives of who are not our biggest fans. Right?
Correct.
However, we have allies in every other cardinal direction.
So you have told me.
Without that politicking, we would have, at best, unknowns or neutral figures in any given direction. I don't see the downside of having support and allies. It means that we can fight the worm all the better. We can defend our people all the better. And yes, this will come into play eventually, but it also means that overall, between our protectorate and the protectorate of those septs, there's more people, more capability, more ability to muster numbers as necessary come major threats. In the end, I don't see any reason not to. Better to have an ally at your back than an enemy.
Well, so be it.
I'd wax poetic about the greater good, but I've never been good at being poetic.
I mean, if you just want to be straight and to the point, you're not exactly in the wrong place.
There's a smirk. So, you could be known for the deeds you've done in a particular battlefield, in a particular instant. Or you could do enough good that it spreads. And it outlives you. I prefer the latter.
That does sound noble.
There's like a smirk and a glance over, the kind of like, and
some would argue a little unrealistic but noble.
Oh, I've heard it all. The results speak for themselves. They may not be the results that I had dreamed I would get. I may have hoped for better in any particular instance. But still, even falling short of that. She shrugs. They're still good results. They still mean that our protectorate will be secured, one way or another. They still mean that our allies will be secured. It means that this whole area, God help the worm when it tries to invade Minnesota. Zipsty.
He shrugs.
She's just glancing over periodically.
Ragabash or no, he looks like he's kind of running out of space here.
Yeah, she's just kind of entertained. It's kind of fun to provide the answers and just see where the Ragabash tries to lead it. See where the questions go.
You get the idea he's not really batting 1,000 right now.
Can't imagine there are many things more appealing than a unified front.
I'm
So, Harrier.
certainly a rhetoric that has been posed before, yes. I was very surprised to find it here, but so be it, I guess.
Just because it's not easily formed or maintained doesn't mean it's not worth doing.
Very well, I'd have to admit, you were somewhat posed as more of an aggressive war leader, considering the casualty rate.
There's yeah, let's see if she can hide the reaction. Eh. What do I got going here? I'll use willpower. Well, her current willpower instead of using manip sub because it's kind of an off the cuff thing. Yeah, it's only 2 successes. If you want a P&E.
Are you ready for this Titanic dice pool?
I am. I'm so ready.
You ready for how badly I mismanaged this?
You can always get better, and you still won.
Ah.
Maybe it's the fact that she darts the eyes back to the iPad, whatever it is, the quickness with which she kind of it's that tiny social disengage. She's still there for the conversation, but man, whereas she kind of had the easygoing smile and whatnot on. Like there's like a neon sign that's like, that was a nerve. You found it. It's a subtle fucking thing, but yeah, nerve, found, got.
You see, Ryab, the two things that were most consistently given to me were that you ran a frontline pack, and that out of all of the packs here, well, sadly, you had lost the most people. What that told me, considering your rank and standing, was that, well, let's just say I was more expecting Honey Badger.
No. No, it was never anything so grand as some mass loss due to miscalculation. But these things are hard won. Kind of glad this is over. You don't earn allies by sitting back and saying pretty things. You prove that you're willing to put your money where your mouth is. You go out there and you do what they need to see you do. And those things are not easy. And between even my pack now and the one I was a member of before, yes, I've lost a lot of people. But I don't stop pushing. I won't stop pushing. But I mean, there's a certain conviction there that finally bubbles up. And I mean, if nothing else, maybe it's the side glance, maybe it's the weird glow from the iPad. Maybe it's the way the scar kind of falls into a weird shadowed point on like the profile when she looks over, but can't back down just because it's hard. As Gru died, serving, fighting the worm, doing what needed to be done.
Very well.
And she goes back to poking at the screen. And just because I'm sure it will tickle your fancy. Our first pack followed Raccoon.
I'd say I'm familiar, but I have my ideas.
Very scrappy and an excellent survivor.
Well, I would suppose so, given that you're still alive.
Just, don't skip a day of training with Marcel.
I won't.
It's a wry little smile and a nod. Anything else you've heard?
No. No, actually, aside from those little tidbits about your public life and your pack, well, not much. People are reluctant.
Are they?
Whoever you are, Raya, you seem to have a lot of history tied to you that people don't want to bring back up.
A lot of it doesn't bear repeating. I've been here since I was a cub. I've made my mistakes. Anyone does. Hmm. And actually, who all has he been seen hanging out with, at least like out in public?
Who doesn't he? Like, he bothers everyone.
No particular trends besides the fact that
I mean,
Raimi just pops up wherever
he's very obviously partial to the Ulrichsons, but that doesn't mean he doesn't spend every waking minute bothering somebody.
Oh
Just
goodness.
it's the worst yappy dog hour in human history because he just keeps on showing up and just talking to people, asking questions till they really want him to go away.
I hear you're walking patrols with Cora now.
Oh, Cora's great. Real can-do attitude, real go-getter. Not quite as extreme as some people in her line of work. Makes it really easy as a traveling companion.
Cora's delightful. Always has been.
Well, I'm glad to see that can-do attitude and candor just can't be a put on at this point. You can tell he's just reaching for the consonants at this, like for this for some fucking reason. Like,
Going
what
for
are you
that
doing, bud?
alliteration.
Why are you like this?
He's putting in the effort. He's trying. Have you met all the other alphas yet?
I can't say I have, no.
She just kind of ticks off on the fingers. Cora, obviously. Leaf, certainly. She kind of squints over. How much time have you managed to spend with the Ravens?
Oh, predominantly, he nervously eyes every body of water in the area. I've been around Leaf, right, but I haven't had much opportunity to really speak with the rest of the pack.
Hmm.
You just tell you break up the Ravens lost his entire group, and he just looks at water like, ugh.
Looks at the little stream trickling by like, I see you.
It could be, though.
She is a little entertained, but it occurs to her that at this point, that pack is all Adrian's, so perhaps she shouldn't nudge, as fun as it would be to watch him try to reconcile Lily's existence. Never mind her being prior alpha. And of course, you've met Abel.
Yes, yes.
Hmm. Have you met the Tail Singer?
I have probably come across him at some point.
I mean, if you haven't already, you certainly will eventually. You've seen our Timmy.
Yes, yes, our Timmy. I have indeed met her closely, personally.
I do seem to recall at least one distinct interaction, yes.
All around me are familiar furies.
All right. She goes off ticking on her fingers. Have you met the Worm Foe?
Not personally, no.
She kind of jerks her hat off. It keeps a camp over by the lake.
I have to admit, see, some people are so busy and so high up that even though I want to, you have to spend that emotional capital when it's important.
You might consider, if nothing else, that it's appropriate to make reports to the Worm Foe after going on missions.
Oh,
Hmm.
most likely, yes. I believe Abel was definitely in charge of doing that.
And I suppose you, of course, made a fully comprehensive report to Abel so that he had a fully comprehensive one to bring himself to the bar.
Abel knows what I did. It gets so flat.
Well, all right. I
Like,
suppose that's
for
all
like
you'll
one
need.
sentence, it gets flat and a little weird.
Yep. Yeah, it does. All right. Well, if nothing else, for your edification, besides them, there's also Undergrowth, Shadowlord, Nadrin, who's the Alpha of the Gallows. And there is Carves the Path.
The Gallows, those folks that run that bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people real fond of that bar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't personally know why I haven't gone down there just yet.
It's quite the place. And it's exclusive to Guru and Kinfolk, meaning it's one of the few places you can openly interact and speak without having to watch half of what you say.
See, that part I wasn't told about. I've simply heard a lot of people give rave reviews about the Hanged Man.
Well, as I said, it is a proverbial nation-only establishment.
I don't think my guitar playing would go over well there at all.
She thinks about it for a second and just sits there and thinks about the gallows. I'm not sure who would protest the first or the loudest. I mean, there's always Siege. But kind of a fun smile. And again, he might encourage you knowing him.
Speaking of which, do you know what his actual name is?
She kind of quirks her brow over. Why?
Just curious, really.
I may. He is a tribesmate.
I mean, after all, I've only ever heard him just referred to by his deed name, but there has to be another name somewhere unless he's... Oh no. Really?
Really, what?
Really?
What?
Could he be the fabled Glasswalker Lupus?
She actually kind of chuckles like, you funny.
Yeah, he's
Like,
laughing too.
oh, no. No, he just prefers use of his deed name. And so, I think, Ragabash, I will let you ferret that out of someone else.
I couldn't go by my deed name the entire time. Can you imagine if everyone referred to me as Sidewinder? I'd take myself too seriously.
With a name like Sidewinder? I
With a
imagine
name
you'd
like
just start
Sidewinder,
doing the, I imagine you'd just start aggressively sidewinding.
I'd have to walk in all diagonals just to make sure everyone knew.
I imagine that would be very interesting.
Interesting, challenging, taxing on the nerves. Possibly bad for my ankles.
Probably bad for your ankles.
Probably bad for my ankles.
I mean, to be sidewinding when you have to do, like, the worm in a diagonal, that'd be very exhausting after an amount of time, I imagine.
But think of the prestige.
That would be.
And one day I would have a mate and she'd just be there with her kinfolk friends. And one of them would say, "Who is that man moving in all diagonals? His diagonals are diagonal. It's so striking." And she would lift her head high in pride and say, "That is my husband. He is called Sidewinder."
Does that mean for all that you walk silly, you have quite the venomous bite?
Indeed.
I will confess that I am eager to eventually see it, albeit, I hope, from the third person, as opposed to the first.
No, I can't bite people around here like that. It'd be a violation of the litany.
There's like that. I mean, he flat out gets that brief like white face. You know, I know you're doing this on purpose, but Jesus.
Is something the matter, Ryan?
Now I'm just wondering how rattlesnakes ever got into a bedroom.
Best not thought about. There's a lot of coiling, a lot of shaking.
The day you come out with a rattle, I'll be done.
He holds up a pair of maracas. You don't know where he got them.
Are you fucking serious? You actually have maracas?
These I got at the dollar store.
She fucking loses it. That's it. That's all she could take. I can't believe you just carry around maracas. I can believe you just carry around maracas. You're a ragabash. Why am I surprised?
Oh, you have no idea how long I've been waiting on this sept for anything to do with rattlesnakes
For
to come up in
literally anyone to
conversation.
ask.
I had to be patient and careful. Too many sudden movements would have given the game away.
Oh my sweet lord. You're probably right. You can't bring it up yourself either. You had to literally wait for someone to ask.
And he just shakes him again like, cha-cha-cha.
How do those not make noise when you're just walking around?
It's a good question. One even I don't have the answer to. I guess I just got lucky.
Well, with all the thrilling relationships I'm sure you're forming, I look forward to seeing if you learn to play either that, points at the guitar, or those, points at the maracas, well enough to end up in the fucking band. That would be.
I did hear about the band, but I didn't want to step in on their ensemble. Didn't seem like a very acoustic guitar friendly place, especially for someone who's just beginning to learn how to play the guitar.
No, they definitely don't do acoustic.
I mean, as you can tell from my current stylings, my art's more meant for coffee houses and the minivans of people named Karen.
Minivans?
It's always a minivan. Can you imagine a Karen in a full-size van? It'd be terrifying.
Not even a hippie van, specifically a minivan.
Well, she has to get the kids to soccer practice somehow,
Oh my
Ryan.
god. Oh no. Raimi.
What are little Xander and Billithy going to do if not soccer?
Fucking Billithy.
How is Chad going to get to his Suzuki violin lesson?
Suzuki. Oh god, Suzuki does make violins, don't they? They would. I wouldn't even be surprised. Now I have to know. Like, starts poking the iPad. Oh god, they do. Oh god, it's a method? It's not even like a brand?
Oh, friend, pal, buddy, Raya. Honored Raya.
Yes.
It is the method the Karens the world over love.
Is it?
Forever and always.
Oh, sweet Mother Gaia. I don't. I'm not even mad. Just closes the tab. Why is that a thing?
Well, according to Google, because about 50 years ago, someone figured it was a good idea.
And people have been figuring it was a good idea ever since, I'm sure.
Quite lucratively.
Hmm. I suppose that's all the motivation most people need. So, speaking of, she finally sets the iPad on the table and sits up, puts her feet down. Barring the fact that currently going off sept is a terrible idea. What do you do outside of the nation?
All right, I don't.
You don't.
I have no vocation other than, well, what I do for the nation. No marketable skills, no real hobbies other than this guitar and messing with all of you.
Didn't you have any aspirations before your change?
My to do list every day, for as long as I can remember, has been one sentence long. Don't die.
It's more of a phrase, really.
And as it turns out, a very useful one.
So, all those years in formative schools, your only goal was don't die?
Yes.
Every day on the playground, just don't die?
I'll admit I was predominantly homeschooled.
No? Raised in the nation?
Yes, right.
Ah, that'll do it. And grew up in a sterling place like Nevada.
Well, more accurately, the mountains outside of Vegas.
Did you at least get to go to Vegas?
I have been to Las Vegas a number of times. I was not welcome.
She, like, at this point has, like, the chin set on the back of her hands that are kind of wreathed together. Do I want to know?
In the grand and vaunted opinion of the Shadow Lords and Glasswalkers that hold dominion over Las Vegas, when the yokels come calling, they bring their yokel trouble with them.
Hmm.
They'd want a part of it.
I suppose not. Same reception even when you were kinfolk?
They really just wanted to remain separate from our self-decided struggles. They had enough on their hands, or so I was told.
Did you share a sept with just really clean cut territories, or?
Little above what I was able to glean from anyone. There were lines, you didn't cross them, and that was that.
I suppose so. I don't know why it never occurred to me that these families had spread so far. That they're actually any Ulrichsons out that far west?
There were certainly Olsons, right?
Hmm. how many generations back was the last time one of them had the chance to actually work with the, I suppose, anchoring family? She kind of like waffles the hand, like, please tell me I'm getting this roughly right.
One or two. Long enough it had become something of a story amongst us.
Hmm.
People that far flung have a habit of being forgotten.
If I can ask, how did you end up so far flung?
From what I can tell, because someone decided it was a good idea.
Belling.
And of course, we won't leave because they're there. They won't leave because, frankly, this was their home at the outset, and we are there. That is the self-perpetuating cycle by which we share a series of unforgiving crags filled with every sort of animal known to man that likes to poison things.
Wait, what? There's like that moment where she's clearly kind of like lost in thought on the first bit of it, and suddenly it like pinged in her head that he'd said poison things.
That is what many of the local animals do, Raya. And the insects, for that matter. Just poison, 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 poison.
Scorpions and everything, didn't you?
Don't get near that. It's poisonous. Don't eat that. It's venomous. Don't eat or get near that. It's poisonous and venomous somehow.
I feel like you reversed those on purpose.
Of course I did.
I had to hope.
I mean, Raya, with all due respect, you're a glasswalker. I expected it all to be Greek to you.
Not quite Greek. Just distant and exotic. She like puts on like just the little like hand to chest thing.
But I'm not there right now. I am here.
You are. And if this last mission is indication, not doing half bad at making a decent little inroad for yourself as far as reputation goes.
Well, Raya, I do what I must because I can.
Do you?
Indeed.
It's quite the statement.
That it is.
For the good of all of us.
At least for science.
She can't resist. I'm gonna just put it in the side chat. Because she's playing it on the iPad now, it's gonna happen. I remember what the song's called. Jesus. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm not even mad. She's kind of got a quirk going at the corner of her mouth because, aw, yes. Something pure. And for the sake of triangulation, they're set out on the veranda. Because I refuse to call this a porch. You see this? This has no covering. No protection from the weather. It's a veranda now. For the public housing. Oh, not that one. Charlotte has finally set back again and stuck her feet back on a table. Meanwhile, Raimi is sitting nearby, wielding menacingly a guitar. Not so menacingly. I mean, except in the fact that he has it. I feel like. I feel like about time you're getting feels from songs like these. It's a bad sign, right? Kind of like glances over, still quirking a bit of a smile.
Probably a little bit of Arrested Development at the very least.
Arrested Development.
Yep.
What is this? Oh, Jesus. Alright, if you're gonna throw songs, you gotta get in here. See you. Is this a game of how many references can we throw into a conversation? How many have I missed already?
Not that many.
Are you just being nice?
Well, you do have a very charming personality, Raya.
And that's when the door is kicked open. So the door of the public housing flies open with some considerable amount of speed. As walking out, still kind of putting on his shirt, kind of still got it kind of over the shoulders, wiggling it down. It's like, and stepping out and the big heavy feet onto the porch, and dum, dum, dum. There is a popping out of the top of the shirt hole is a big bushy ginger beard. So he just kind of looks around, sees the two of you. Oh, well, hello there.
Sorry, the toggle killed me. Evening, McDuncan.
Evening. It's really fucking evening already.
Oh, yeah. She points up at the stars.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, would you look at that? I've already lost most of my day. Well, look at that. That's what you get for staying up all night. That's what you get. That's what you get, isn't it, Charlotte? That's what you fucking get.
It's absolutely what you get.
His eyes kind of slowly turn to the man sat down with the guitar.
The entire track of the eye is just dun, 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 dun. Hello.
And who might you be?
I dun, 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 dun. I'm Remy Olsen.
All right, laddie. Come on, if we're going to do this, let's do it properly.
He looks like he's contemplating strumming the guitar again. Okay. Remy Olsen, Cleeth, Ragabash, Hamid Get a Fenris, Steeded Sidewinder.
I'm pretty sure there's a rank in there as well.
I threw it in the middle of there. Cleeth.
Oh, I didn't hear that. My bad.
It's okay.
He stops, nods. Oh, then, Remy. I am Alistair McDuncan, known to the nation as the Iron Long, born upon two legs. Galliard Fianna, Cleeth of the nation.
Cool.
It was a slow lean. And my beta.
Oh, all right.
Hey.
She'll look to McDuncan. Raimi was brought up by Eric and Torvi when they came up to visit.
Oh, I know. Oh, was he? Was he now? Oh, all right. Friend of Eric and Tori, eh?
I'd certainly like to say so.
Right from down south.
Yes, I am.
You're a southern boy.
That is one way to describe me, yes.
I know. I can see it. I can see it. I see it in your face like that. The jawline. I can see it like that. Bit of a smooth jawline you got there. Definitely a southerner. I can smell it on you.
Well, it is important to moisturize.
Oh, that. Oh, that.
Grin is just slowly getting broader and broader. The lips are kind of pressing, like, yep, southern boy. Clicking on my iPad. Don't mind me.
Moisturize. Hey, moisturize, do you, Remy?
Early and often.
Early and often. Would you look at that? A man that likes to take care of himself. That I can respect that. Respect that.
Oh, I could hardly deprive the women of this sept and frankly the world entire of my full potential.
You see that? And that's what I'm talking about. See, he leans down, like real close. You can kind of smell the kind of like a woody smell. I like. You see, a lot of people they don't think about these kind of things. You know, I think that a bit of gruff does it. You know, you need to smell nice. See, I use a lot of beard oil. Got to keep it nice and soft. You know.
I am smelling every ounce of that at this very moment.
I'm glad. Yeah, you can smell that. That. That's the smell. All right, that's it. Get some of that on your chest, boy, or that will drive the women crazy.
That is only one
Like a
success of not giggling. Charlotte's making some fucking pained little noises as she tries not to laugh.
it's like a powerful combination of pine and new car.
All right. And it is a bit of pine. Gotta love a bit of pine. Reminds me of back home. Lots of pine. It's like quite a lot of pine around here as well, but you know, it is what it is.
There is an inordinate amount of pine around here.
There's a lot of pine. A lot of pine.
Tons.
Oh, it's everywhere. Just can't get away from it.
Probably not, no.
Oh. It's like the hills have eyes. Have you seen that have the hills have eyes? It's just everywhere. It's like the trees, the pines. The pines have eyes.
That certainly went in a direction that I was not prepared for.
Oh, you're not prepared for it, are you?
That is a pungent scent, by the way. It stings the nostrils.
Ah, good.
Does it work 70% of the time every time?
It works 90% of the time every time.
Okay.
Hey. That's the way you put it on, you see, Remy. He does get a real back. You see, a lot of people just they go downwards, you know, as he runs his hand through his beard. No, you don't want to go down. No, you go upwards. You go against the grain. Against it. That's how you do it.
This has been educational, I will give you that.
I know, that's what I like to do. I'm going to teach everybody. You know, yeah, you can see there that just whatever you got on your top lip might blow away in a bit of strong wind, but that's about it.
I'll admit I don't exactly possess the beards of my forebears. I am sure they are weeping from the afterlife as we speak.
Oh, just give it time. Don't worry. You got to cultivate it.
Well, I am still a growing boy.
Oh, yes, you are.
And this seems like a good place for Sylvie to finally drag herself back to the public housing to see this conglomeration. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that, of people on the veranda. And yeah, there's Charlotte, there's Raimi, and there is some guy she has never seen before right up in Raimi's face. So she will just take a seat and see how this plays out.
And over my left shoulder, another story of far more story than I, a simple ragabash wandering the plains, getting people to question their decisions. From the windswept plains of Wisconsin, Sylvie Sharp Cheddar Iverson, greatest
Yep,
Thayer
that's where
of
Charlotte
all
loses
cle-
it.
Yeah, like
I wish I'd had my mic on for the fucking awful snorting noise I made.
the greatest Cleoth of at least her cub class. Throw her under buses. Breaker of tempers.
Yeah, Charlotte's losing her shit. She's trying so hard and she's failing. She's also glancing over to see if Sylvie is making faces, because I imagine if nothing else, the Sharp Cheddar would have done it. I know Heather's dying because she can't unmute. It's not safe. I hear fiddling.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah, Sylvie is making faces. You can tell from her face she really wants to be mad, but she is too busy trying not to laugh.
And as he continues, and last but not least, creator of an award-winning, multiple prize earning Santa Fe red and green pepper Christmas style omelet.
I'm not gonna lie, Charlotte's still laughing because she's pretty sure he just flat made that shit up.
He absolutely made that shit up.
Now, now is the point where Sylvie loses it and starts laughing because she can't even eat that, let alone cook it.
Yeah, Charlotte's struggling. She went to try to do like the casual tea sip out of her tumbler and almost fucking spat it all over her iPad.
Well, well, Raimi, it's always a pleasure to see you again.
Glad to see you too.
So, what have you been up to?
Oh, keeping my nose clean, not getting in any kind of trouble, no casualties, as usual.
I heard the howl. You have
but
anything to do with that?
well, I mean, I wasn't the one howling, if that's what you're asking.
Well, I know you weren't the one howling.
Just kind of gives her this like, look. Ding 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 ding. I don't think it can actually, a guitar can actually make that noise, but I got a little like kind of Aladdin-y for a second. I don't know why.
I really like Throws Under Buses. I thought that one was artful. Though Sharp Cheddar comes second.
I don't know. Sharp Cheddar is hardly creative considering where I come from.
Well then, Sharp Cheddar. I am Alistair McDuncan, seeing as you're clearly just going to ignore me while I'm standing here. But I don't know, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You know, one known as throws on the buses and breaker of tempers, clearly. I don't know, that's a bit of respect. But I am Alistair McDuncan, known to the nation as the Iron Lung, one upon two legs, the Clearth Fianna Galliard. Aye. As Charlotte quickly pointed out a little bit earlier, just before you wandered your way up here, beta of the pack.
Sylvie will extend her hand to him. Sylvie Everson, Get of Fenris, born on two legs under the crescent moon. Cleath of the nation, deeded, blood on snow. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, I bet it is. Shakes the hand.
It's a good, firm, solid handshake.
No, shakes it. Oh. I would expect nothing less from a Get of Fenris. That's good, at least.
Oh, she came over with Jasper and Grey Fox.
Oh, did she
Total nod.
Oh, did she? Oh, you know the Grey Fox, do you?
Yes, as a matter of fact. He's quite a fixture back home.
Oh, I know. Me and him. Oh, the party. Oh, that party. That's a fantastic party. I've seen a lot of Fiona slide into women, but that man's got a talent for it.
I'm
Oh,
like,
I'd be
about
thoroughly
9 months, they're going to be a small army of little salt and pepper haired children running around.
Oh, hey. Oh, no, that I do not doubt at all. At all.
I will be both thoroughly shocked and disappointed if there aren't at least 4.
Hey, that's the thing. But as my old den father, Oaks Vigil, used to say, you know, he was a brilliant fucking den father. Yes, he was. The little bastard. You always got to keep an eye on your prize when you're at these big parties. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep an eye on these kind of things, unless you're a single man, and then you just go buck wild.
Well, there are definitely young men at this sept who know how to go buck wild.
You're damn fucking right there are.
Just I'll change the picture.
So from where do you hail?
Oh, from where do I hail? What you do? Well, now. Well, I myself, I'm from the Sept of the Twin Monoliths. But you haven't heard of that one before, have you?
Actually, I haven't.
I see, look at that. Everybody forgets Twin Monoliths. Everybody. It's quite rude, actually. It's very rude. It's very rude. It's back on the border of England and Scotland. It's a wee bit south of Edinburgh. Kind of in the moors, but not really. And it gets its name. You'll never guess this. It gets its name from the two giant monoliths in the middle around the Cairnheart.
Oh, you don't say.
Aye. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought about that?
I mean, with a name like Twin Monoliths, you'd think it could get its name from anything.
Aye, but no, you'd be wrong. Twin monoliths, 2 of them, very big, quite pretty. Lots of engravings.
Artful engravings or ceremonial?
Well, of course they're fucking artful. What do you think this is? What's artful? All engravings, even if they're ceremonial, are artful. Wouldn't you agree?
I will make no comment on the state of my own handwriting.
Well, now, there's no comment to say. Well, that's one way of putting it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sure with a bit of practice and all that, art and handwriting. It makes it. Me myself, not a fucking chance. I'm as khaki as a fucking moose.
Wait.
There's a confused rapid fire blinking from Sylvie. She clearly doesn't get that idiom.
No,
Well,
no, go on.
moose do cause a fair bit of trouble on the interstate, I hear.
Do they? I don't know. I don't think I've ever really seen one.
I haven't seen one either. Not up close in person.
Well, I know what I'm going to be doing one day. Anyway, Sylvie. Come from, Wisconsin, hey. You always been in Wisconsin, is that it?
Pretty much, yes.
Pretty much, pretty much, yes. Is that a yes or a no? Or is that a maybe yes? What kind of yes?
I grew up in a little village called Melrose. Nice, out of the way place to grow up. And I've got some family in Duluth on my mother's side, and my dad's family is kind of all over the place around here. And well, so is my mom's family, really. And then after my change, I went to the court of Wisconsin.
I see. No. Oh, I definitely know that. I've heard that. I know a few Iversons myself.
Oh, who do you know?
As Tom promptly reminds himself which fucking Iversons he knows. Oh well, me and Cole have had a few good run-ins, and the beer garden, he does like a good fucking drink. He does. I'm pretty sure there's one down south as well.
Through the pack link, she'll just support signaled.
Like, I don't fucking know him. I can't remember. I don't know. I know enough Iversons. Yeah, there's a lot of you.
There
Kind
are
of-
quite a few.
Hey, what is that, man? It kind of blurs the lines. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Yes, that it
there.
does.
See, she understands. By that. I'll tell you one thing, though. There's only one Alistair McDuncan around here.
And you would be he.
You damn fucking right I am.
Makes it easy.
Huh? And it does. Can't forget this face.
Oh, I doubt anyone could, even if they tried.
That's exactly. There you go. Now you're getting it.
Especially with the personality to match.
I do try my best. Can't help it that I just ooze absolute charisma. It's just how I am.
I'm sure that comes in handy as a galliard.
And it would. I'd make. You'd think it'd make a lot of sense, but it's not. This is what it is. It's all based on where you grow up on. Nothing wrong with being a bit loud and proud.
No, there isn't.
You gotta have a fire that burns in you.
Competition is a key part of success, regardless of where you are or what your tribe is.
Oh, I see. Key part of success, eh? That says a lot.
No, one can scarcely survive without a competitive spirit. Otherwise, you'd never better yourself.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I know. makes a lot of sense. I see what you say. I see what you're saying. Oh, I take what you're selling. I can agree to that. It's respectable. It's respectable. Oh, jeez, if I've got you that fucking dumbfounded. Christ.
Sorry, I muted while I was coughing.
How dare!
Yeah. I find charisma is key in my line of work as well.
Oh, well, you're from the court of Wisconsin. I don't doubt that for a second. Very politicky. Oh, tippy toes. You're always on your tippy toes. I can't live like that.
It's a strange way to grow up, but it's beneficial.
Oh, I'm not doubting it for a second. Oh, each to their own and all. It is what it is. Well, we don't get to choose where we grow up now, do we? That's our parents. No, just what we happen to roll into. Look at the dice.
Or lack thereof.
Oh, lack thereof. Hey, there you go. And sometimes you just be rolling fucking snake eyes.
That reminds me. I don't suppose you know where I could find a Theurge goes by the name Nurov, would you?
Lord off. Don't think I've ever met a fucking Noroff.
It was
No.
suggested I could find him over at one of the bars.
No,
The Hanged Man, I think?
Oh, I know that actually explains quite a bit. Hey, the Hanged Man. What is the Shadow Lord? I'd guess it's Shadow Lord with that.
Not gonna lie, even Charlotte's kind of like making a subtle face. But yeah, the pack link is just a question mark, like the fucking Nurov.
It would stand to reason that someone with a name like Nurov, who was a Theurge in a bar, might appear in a Shadowlord bar.
It's very true. You can't just judge people by their names.
I mean, for all we know, this individual could be in the beer garden as we speak.
He
Or
totally
an
could
entirely
be.
disassociated bar, but maybe this Hanged Man isn't a bad place to start.
I'd say it's the perfect place to start. But, you'd want to go in there with with at least some know-how. Don't just walk in there, or else, you get your potatoes slapped around a little bit.
The stiffest of upper lips, the finest of your finery.
And you
The
broke your
revelation
fucking
that
nose. You think I'm joking? I've heard stories. I know that, but I've been, once?
I dare say her manners would probably serve her well.
I don't doubt it for a second, but, just got to be cautious. Just to clear.
Charlotte still kind of got the faintest little bit of a smile.
You see, as little lads who got to stick together, Got to help out my fucking fellow ranksmen. My fellow youghs. Don't want to see them getting their fucking nose broken unless it's by me.
Remy's just looking at this
That-
dude who looks like he's McDuncan's age. It's just like, yeah, us youths.
What? What?
Well,
What?
I have to ask.
Go on then.
Is this like your second go at Cleith?
My second go at Cleith.
I mean, everybody's heard the stories of people get knocked back down the ladder.
Oh, you think I'm somebody that's been knocked back down the ladder now, do you?
I mean, I'd love to hear the story if that's the case.
Oh, really? I bet you'd love to hear a fucking funny story, wouldn't you? Hey, no, wind your fucking neck in, little ragbash. Just pokes him on the nose. Hey, just because I'm a bit more grizzled than a few other clears, and I might look hell, just because the beard makes me look a bit older. I'm 26. Hey, it's a bit of a late age. It's not that fucking late, though, is it? Is it?
Not terribly, no.
No, it's not. See, let's do the third.
Well, all right.
Ah,
Much better than turning at 13 and never learning to drive a car because your rage might get the better of you.
aye, that's aye, it's definitely better than that. See, at least I was mostly an adult by the time. I admit to this, acting like a fucking child. I'll give you that one. Took me a good while to get through cubhood. Aye. But hey, that's the curse of being unknown. It's never that simple now, is it?
Oh, you were unknowing.
Aye.
That would take a while.
Is that right? Especially with an attitude like that.
Well, you gotta make up for a lifetime's worth of not knowing.
Aye, that's literally the definition of unknowing.
So, Shadow Lords.
Yes.
There's some reason you're looking for this Nerov, some sort of esoteric beef you've got to settle.
Actually, yes.
Oh?
I need to get him to sing one song, one of two particular songs. At a funeral for a long dead woman who was killed in a shipwreck not far from here. Oh, about a century or so ago.
I assume that means you're arranging a funeral?
Yes.
Charlotte, straight up, like, you can see the process of her checking the little box. It's like, okay, weird third shit. And she just drops it entirely. Just, okay.
Funeral out on the shore.
I don't suppose there's some series of circumstances that mean why him?
He is very likely a descendant of the man who was affianced to this woman and abandoned her to her death. So, according to her, his family would not have to pay for the wedding. Or rather, according to her spirit.
Well, hot damn, there's a lot of motivations I question here, but unfortunately, just about everybody to do with it's dead by now.
Exactly.
Yeah, good Sentry will do that.
You 100% sure about the, I don't know, factual nature of these claims? I mean, maybe the spirit believes it, but
Regardless of whether it's true or not, it is what the spirit believed. The spirit has been stuck for decades and was actually fairly worm tainted.
Ho, okay.
So it's entirely possible that such claim is not true, but the deal that was made was for her remains, or a portion of them, to be buried on shore, and a descendant of her fiance to sing at her funeral.
So, what makes you so sure that the Shadow Lords are going to graciously coffin her off up for you, even if it's for something as innocuous as a song?
Well, two things. Firstly, this business is being done to aid the sect. Secondly, it's not like I will be sending him out there alone if this spirit should, for some reason, manifest from the remains and attempt to attack. And thirdly, I have thoroughly cleansed the remains. Actually never seen cleansed remains look so markedly different after a cleansing.
Well, I'm perfectly curious to see how this turns out.
I'm kind of curious about how they changed. What do you mean changed?
They had been underwater for, well, nearly a century.
So I'm assuming bones?
Yes, the skull. It was grimy, filthy, covered in seaweed, and the cleansing took all that away.
Huh.
It's about as pristine as you could ask for. Under the circumstances.
I imagine so. I assume you had some sort of overhead on this, right?
What do you mean, overhead?
Hiring Thayerge, overseeing, involved, knowing what you're up to.
Oh, yes. Lily Trimbuson.
There's like that pause. And again, like calculating, nod, immediate dismissal. Like, yep, that's happening. Cool.
She's the one who suggested I start looking at the Hanged Man, and she also suggested I bring you.
I imagine it wouldn't hurt.
Well, it couldn't. I mean, my stellar social skills aside, I'm still a stranger.
There's kind of a wry little smile. You might take a moment to consider that while polite is good, I don't know that Silverfang etiquette will get you far in a Shadow Lord bar.
Oh, I'm absolutely certain it won't.
Oh no, I don't know what you say. I think it gets you quite far. You'd
Oh,
at
yeah, I
least get
think
it
it's a
thrown
great
across
idea.
the room.
Definitely across the room, possibly into the next county.
Oh no, it's not that bad. God, there's the veil and all. Oh,
Unless you
controllable
technically
collateral
switch
damage.
counties when you break plate glass.
The way county lines are drawn, you'd be surprised.
I haven't got a fucking clue what you're talking about. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Fine. Fine. It's fine.
But yes, that could probably be arranged. Kind of glances at the other two. Turns to smirk at Ramey because at least McDuncan's been there before. Do you want to come on an adventure too?
Well, that really depends on the adventure, Raya.
I mean, it's a bold adventure to brave new bars.
Well, Raya, if you want me to stand side by side with you in this, a great social endeavor that so far has been characterized by a combination of awe, wonder, and, well, vague threats, I just have to know one thing and one thing only. Does the hangman serve loaded nachos?
Aye, they fucking do. They're brilliant.
I'm in.
I'm telling you, Remy, right? Listen, Remy. You're listening.
I don't see as how I have a choice. You are very loud.
Aye, that's good. It's good. I'm telling you, pulled pork, barbecue pulled pork on nachos. Whoever thought of that idea, give that man a fucking medal.
I will be sure to find the inventor of pulled pork
Aye.
nachos.
That. Tell you what, you fucking Americans. Tell you, aye, that'll do it. That'll do it.
So I want you all to know out of character that for some fucking reason, in this game where no one can see what anyone is doing, I've just been miming strumming a guitar idly, like, almost this entire time. And the character's not even doing this. I've just been doing this. That's how dumb this has gotten.
Don't worry, Bob. Well, I feel like I should admit now. I point at my screen a lot. As in, like,
Beautiful.
listen, point at my screen. Listen, you, points.
Listen, scream.
Please tell me you majestically stroke McDuncan's beard, your imaginary beard.
Yes.
Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, by the by, Sylvie.
Yes, Raya?
This will amount to asking a favor from at least one Adrian, which I'll give you because Lily pointed you at me. You might want to bring a little something along. Because I think even the lowest among the gallows is a foster.
I mean, technically, this is 2 Adrians now.
Hey,
Two Adrians?
Well, she has to ask a favor of you in order to get in the door, and then she has to ask a favor of this Adrian you've implied outside of yourself. Who knows how many other Adrians are going to be in this gauntlet of
I was
favors?
talking about Lily,
Ah,
who is the one who sent her to me, which is why she gets a pass on me.
I see.
But going to talk to the gallows, there's at least their alpha's an Adrian. And I'm fairly sure the rest are fostering.
Good to know. Good to know. I will bring a little something.
To be honest, I'd go with a regular something. A little something might not be enough.
One of them's literally named Siege Engine, for crying out loud.
Hey, and he is.
Last
He's
one,
brilliant. I do like Siege Engine.
Oh, poor Siege. God, we need to figure out where the hell Perfidy is. She finally sits back and, like, just ruffles the hair with a hand, just out of frustration.
Raimi stares.
What?
You should talk to your guy.
I will make a point of talking to the worm foe imminently. Albeit I imagine he is home and in bed right now, would not appreciate me walking in his front door.
Oh, I don't think he'd even be able to put up with me walking in his front door.
Why would you be walking in his front door? Like, she
I'm a
seems
ragabatch.
confused. I suppose you are.
Look, if anyone has a chance of survival based on something that audacious, someone from my auspice. But like I said earlier, Raya, when it comes to very important and powerful people who are busy doing important things, you have to choose your investments of emotional capital very wisely, because you will not get a second chance.
The worm
And just-
foe and I are fairly good friends.
Oh,
I tend to come
That's
by his
it.
home regularly. Like, just, bruh.
Right. You gotta remember. You gotta remember, Remy. You know, we might be sat at the kiddie table, but you know, Charlotte has got the high chair.
There's a pause and some blinking.
I want my
Because
fucking McNuggets.
word-wise it makes sense, but if you think about it, high chairs are for the babbies.
Don't you fucking think about it, Charlotte. This is here from the pack link.
She gets this weird, like, introspective look for a moment, and then he's like, don't even think about it. She's just like, okay, fine.
Like, don't even think about it. You're a fucking agent here. You're gonna what? Don't let him tell you what you can and can't do. You're a fucking agent.
I'm not letting him tell me what I can and can't.
Just make it sure, you know, I've got you. Oh. Make it sure. You're
You
not telling
are.
my alpha what to fucking do. I'll tell you that. I'll break his fucking jaw.
So I've seen.
Good. Just remember that. Yeah. Glad.
You're lovely, McDonald. Don't worry about it.
Lovely. Is that it?
Is that it?
Is that it? Just lovely. Fucking hell. You call your nephew lovely. Oh, look at that. He's lovely. Look at him as he eats his own, he eats the mud. Oh, isn't that lovely? He's got a bit of food.
Charlotte starts giggling for no apparent reason. Because that's pretty amazing. Oh my god. You know, that's what I get for throwing out Sling. I don't know that well.
And it is.
You're wonderful, McDuck, and it's fine.
I know it's fine. I know what you're reassuring me for. You're the one here that's getting his panties in a twist.
I was just trying to decide whether it was a roundabout slap because high chairs are for babbies.
So if it's a roundabout slap, Charlotte, I'd just slap you.
No. That's why I
Ah,
was confused.
Oh, if I'm anything, I'm an honest man.
You are?
Exactly. Don't fucking forget it. So if I'm going to slap you, I'm going to slap you. And then I'd be running because you hit pretty hard back.
I do.
Hey.
The giggles finally kind of bubble down. But yeah, there's a hot second where Charlotte's like looking thoughtful, eases up, and then starts giggling for no fucking reason.
Well then, it's
Right.
great.
So, field
Fantastic.
trip to the Hangman later, though, albeit it might be. I suppose you would have to go there.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen anyone named Nurov on Sept.
Right, let's go and take some names.
I believe his first name is Marlowe.
There's-
Marlowe.
The slow turn? Ah. Well, in that case, you will certainly be needing an Adrian level. Pretty please.
Oh?
And I suggest referring to him as Undergrowth.
Hmm.
Ah.
The fucking snicker from. There's like that little eye twitch of like, oh god, don't do it.
Sylvie takes out a notebook and scribbles something down on one of the pages.
He would be the alpha of the gallows.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, that. See, there it is. There's the dots. Boom. Boom. All right. What you writing down there? What's that? What you writing down? Huh?
I mean, she's not really trying to hide it if you want to peek.
Oh, I mean, yeah. He's just looking, just blatantly.
Like she's got the name Marlowe Nurov written down in her notes, and she's writing undergrowth and underlining it several times and drawing a big circle around it.
Oh yeah. No, I'd put some stars on that as well. Hey, a few stars.
Stars? Okay.
Yeah, put a few stars on that. Hey,
And
there you go.
she'll draw a few stars around the name.
That's better. There you go. Look at that.
There we
beautiful.
go.
Beautiful. That's how you do it. Got to highlight a pen.
Let's find out.
I'd use a highlighter pen as well. You know, one of those nice lime green ones. I can't go wrong with that. Right, anyway, with that, I do have to disappear because I've got business to attend to. I'm not, as fabulous as my company is, I know. It's few and far between.
Sylvie does not, in fact, have a highlighter pen.
Far too far in view.
You see me all the goddamn time, Charlotte.
I know, but it's never enough.
Look at that. Just kind of puts his hands over his heart. Look at that. Look at that. You melt my heart. You really do.
No. Ah. Yes, I suppose off to serious business. She actually looks to the corner of her iPad like, ugh. And I suppose if I don't want to be praying for sweet release from this mortal coil in the morning, because tomorrow is kind of ticks on our fingers. Oh, tomorrow is. Oh yeah, Skyripper. So if I want to keep all of my digits and limbs, I should probably get some sleep.
Sleep sounds like a wonderful idea. Sleep and a nice hot bath.
Sleep? Well, fuck that. I'm going for a swim. Turn starts walking.
Oh, I know you are.
Hey, you're
I
damn
still
right.
think you're completely insane.
Just as he's walking off, like, hey, completely insane, but definitely in fucking shape.
There's that helpless shrug of like, I can't even argue with that. Glances over to see if Ramie's still alive. He's still just plunking on the fucking guitar.
He's not really plunking on it. He's just he's with y'all. But things are coming to their conclusion.
There's kind of a pause after a moment and a glance. Point over at Sylvie. Have you picked up training with anyone yet?
I've been training with Lily. But
Combat
that's
training.
not yet, no.
At least
Though
as
I
far
was
as...
thinking I might ask Raimi.
Hmm?
Lovely idea.
What's this now?
Combat training.
Well, I'll put it this way. Typically, I spend part of my day in the company of the Ulrichsons, and they have a very comprehensive program that they put on for many aspiring Get of Fenris. I can only imagine you would be welcomed with open arms, if not an open palm or two.
Well, it sounds like a date then.
Oh. Don't want to be flirting with the litany, my friend, even in jest. Although I am strikingly beautiful, as he gets up and actually starts strumming as he walks away.
Yeah, there's a quirk of a smile. I will see you both, I imagine, day after tomorrow.
Most
Little
likely.
finger waggle.
Yes.
Until then, Raya.
At least in the morning.
Good night, Rhea.
Good night, on right? And yeah, she will pick up her tea and pick up her iPad. And go to saunter off. Let the Cleiths have a moment.
Last you see of Raimi is him disappearing around the corner. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Sophie will walk off, trying desperately not to laugh.
All right, then I suppose we will call it there. So thank you, players, for playing, watchers for watching. We will see you next time on another thrilling mixer in this life.